My name is Mark Dugally, and I'm a tattoo artist. I do things a little differently than the average tattoo artist. I have a 14-question questionnaire. I call this the inner portrait process. I ask for a mix of your most inspirational music that has a significant personal meaning. I build a kit of parts and I begin tattooing. I feel that there's a huge disservice being done with people representing themselves by things that they see on other people that they like. You know, they see this skull and this rose and they're like, wow, that's really nice, I like that, I want that to be how I represent myself to the rest of the world. And to me that it doesn't really do the job. When people want more traditional based tattoos, I will often send them to other people to get more traditionally based tattoos because that's not what I specialize in. Ultimately, to me, a tattoo is how you represent yourself to the world. It's customizing you. What I call my process is custom humans. I don't even really call it tattooing. It's a very specific mind and emotion set that you have to tap into in order to get through it without it being a negative experience. There is a sense of a rite of passage, a sense of suffering and surviving as a way of working through life. It's a celebration of that thing that you're trying to work through, and also the image itself is usually representative of that thing that you need to work through. Tonight I'll be tattooing on a very dear friend of mine. Her name is JJ, and she did the inner portrait process, so I'm very excited to make that happen tonight.
My name is JJ Kovacevic. I am being tattooed at a live Halloween event in downtown LA.
Quit talking to me!
You don't have to talk to anybody. This is the ink for the skins. Actually, she chose the majority of the colors, and I added in some colors that I wanted to get cohesive with, and that's how the colors were chosen.
Mark's a very dear friend of mine. I actually met Mark several years ago, the first time I attended Burning Man. A friend of my husband's invited me to come camp. Instant family really is the way to describe it, and Mark is one of those dear folks. All of my tattoos are really reminders of my values or what's important to me, or they're reminders of how I want to live. The reason why I want to rework the one that we're reworking and expanding tonight is that while the values or the ideas that led me to get that tattoo still are important to me, the imagery I chose and the way that I have changed over time, I find that it no longer represents me. I love his art and his aesthetic, and there's also something about him as a person that I trust very much, and I feel really grateful to be able to have someone whose art I not only really admire and appreciate, but someone whose energy I really admire and appreciate and love having in my world, so it's a two-time winner. I was aware that Mark was going to be creating the art with his knowledge of me, but not with any actual input from me on the design. And I actually didn't realize till pretty far into the process that I wouldn't see any aspects or components of it whatsoever. The nervousness that did arrive was very short-lived and very quickly passed, and it's actually really added to what already feels like the power of the experience before I've even sat down on the table for him to take the needle to me. I haven't seen the art yet, and given that it's going to be on the back of my body, I will literally be the last person to see it. Really just nails that trust metaphor, that trust lesson home.